Hello everyone, Veigar here. From time to time, I like to have a discussion type video or just talking a bit in depth about a topic. Something that concerns me right now in League of Legends is how powerful flex picks are and how little it makes sense how the current SoloQ drafting format works. I think that when you load into a game, you should know who you are playing against. I think it's too much of an unfair advantage given to the ones playing flex picks right now. Do I think flex picks should have no advantage? No, absolutely not. They should have some advantage. But right now they have too much. And I'll tell you how I believe it should be set up. So, if we take a look at jungle pick rates, the top 10 champions. Diana is not a jungler, can also be played mid. A lot of one-tricks play her mid. Echo, obviously not a jungler, it is a mid laner. Can also be played mid and jungle. Jace is of course a top laner, but now is also a jungler. But he can also be played mid. Volibear, top and jungle. Zed, mid and jungle. You get the point. Sylas as well. And there is no reason why you should be given such a large advantage. Now, in my opinion, how it should work is, if I pick Jace early in draft, this is where the flex pick should have the advantage, right? Let's say I'm on blue side, I have first pick. If I pick Jace, I don't believe that the enemy should get to know where Jace is already. I think this is where you should be given the advantage of flex pick. Here is where it makes sense. Now when the draft is finished, so let's say now we see everything, but then now, let's say Lee Sin gets locked in, blah, blah, blah. Everyone just plays their champions, just filling in the draft. Ignore what's being picked. Just random things here. Blah, blah, blah. Draft is now finished. Okay. Here it should be lined up like this. In my opinion, that is how it makes sense. I think that when you pick Jay's first pick, it should exist as a flex pick right there and then. But once everything is locked in, it doesn't make sense anymore in the current landscape of League with the amount of champions there is and the amount of role diversity there is for the champions. It doesn't make sense that after everyone has locked in everything, that you still don't know who you're playing against. The advantage of the flex pick should be that when you're trying to counter the Jace, he is still being flexed. At this point, he is no longer being flexed, but you don't know. This is where it feels really messed up to play the game. Today I played 3 games back to back. All 3 games I have no idea who I am playing against and I just have to gamble. In game 1, I see Malphite, Talon, Varus. I assume I'm against Talon and that Malphite is jungle. Because, Malphite has been buffed to be a jungler. However, Malphite was mid lane. There's also a world where Varus goes mid because there's some people playing in full AP on mid. So I was wrong here. Then I played this game. Quinn, Kha'Zix, Karma, Cassio, Cillian. Well, I assume Kha'Zix is jungle, but all of the other champions can literally go anywhere. Quinn can be played mid. There's a lot of Quinn OTPs in mid. Cassio easily mid and top. Cillian can just swap with the Karma. And there's no real way for me to know. And there is, in my opinion, no reason why I should have to do mental gymnastics and mathematics in the champ select about who I am playing against, just because they happen to play one of the 70% of champions that can just be played in multiple roles. It's not like someone is choosing to main a champion because they can be played in other roles. They just like the champ and then, happened to be I pranked this guy. This guy just got filled bot lane. So, he's just playing his one trick. He's just lucky that he has this massive advantage. Then in this game, they early picked Sion. My top picked Darius. This is where, in my opinion, having the flex pick advantage is good for the game. So now, they picked Kennen. But I still have to think, it could also be Kennen mid, because I'm playing on EU West. This is the thing. On EU West, there is a lot of Kennen mid OTPs. So I'm playing Ares Scorch Exhaust. Turns out I'm against Sion. And I'm not saying there's no way for me to know. There's just no way to guarantee. Sure, in hindsight, it's obvious Kennen is countering Darius. But in hindsight, it's still obvious to me that Malphite should be jungle this game. You play versus so many weird things all the time, and they should have the advantage early in the draft. I do agree with that. I do believe if you pick something that can be flexed, like Casio, you pick it here, you shouldn't now on R2 get to be confirmed that this is Casio bot. I agree that this should now have the flex advantage. I do think so. But when draft is finished, I don't understand why you have to gamble. It's too much of an advantage. And it feels terrible. It feels like you got outplayed without the guy doing anything. If it turns out that it's Echo in jungle in fact, and you're now playing bone plating versus some range champ on mid, it feels terrible. And if it turns out that it's Echo mid, and then the range champ is on jungle, and now you're playing second win against Echo and you don't have bone plating, it's like game losing. And I don't believe that it's a skill issue a lot of the time, and I think it's just unfair, in my opinion. And so I'm making the video in hopes that, you know, people will hopefully agree with me, because I don't understand why SoloQ draft is different than competitive draft, because in competitive, one, there is no role swaps anymore, because you're tied to your role from queuing up, which SoloQ is the same now. But the difference is, in competitive, when the draft is finished, you're all in order and enemy team knows. And you have to make sure that, you know, 20 seconds before champ select is over, that it's kind of like announced, like everybody knows, oh, it's Azir in mid, because he's swapped to the middle of, like, champ select, right? Why shouldn't SoloQ be the same? It creates unnecessary tilt. There's no reason why you should purposely annoy someone loading into the game because, I have wrong runes now. I have wrong summoner spells, just because the guy is lucky. In my opinion, it doesn't make sense. So, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I think if you pick Ambessa here, you should have the advantage of the flex pick. But once every champion is locked in, I think it's only fair for both teams that now you know it's Ambessa jungle. Thank you for watching.